Hey, what's up everyone? This video is an addition to my Pikachu Lightning Shuriken Bladedancer guide I've uploaded the other day, and I will explain how to solve mana issues on the build, but also showing you several ways on how to solve any mana problems on your Bladedancer build. So the combo is Shift is a 2-in-1 ability, so there is 2 mana regenerating effects going on if I press Shift. From Swift Recovery, and because Shift procs Shadow Cascade now, I gain mana per active shadow. So therefore I get mana regen like crazy. Plus cooldown recovery, use Shift more often, plus mana regeneration on the ring, plus 1 ring with minus throwing attack mana cost. To reduce the Shuriken to 0 in order to benefit from the passive in the skill tree. I would recommend at least 2 gear pieces with mana regen, and one of those rings is a must-have, especially for the build I've uploaded. The Shurikens benefit from the passive Sapping Strikes. And a big stat is mana efficiency with Synchronized Strike. So I have it on my chest piece and on my awkward Falconer. One of those. And a Shift.
Not happening.
And you stack all this cooldown recovery on the gear.
Not happening.
Just a rotation thing. And if it hits a monster, it regenerates mana. Because they cost 0 mana. 50k damage per Shuriken, they cost no mana. If you have a bunch of throwing attack speed, it regenerates mana faster.
That was close. Not happening.
All those Shurikens regenerate mana. So as long as you don't spam Synchronized Strike, you're good to go.
Not happening.
Also, keep in mind this has a threshold of 10 or 15%. They only need to dash through the monster and he's down. Doesn't matter if it's a boss monster or like just a mob. Yeah, that's how it goes. I was not running out of mana a single time. Didn't even pay attention much. It's tempting to, you just want the most AoE all the time. And then you are Then what's next, right? Then you can't basically attack. Because the movement skill is the attack. Thank God Shuriken costs 0 mana. Like one or 2 leaps max. Then use something. Proc several Umbral Blades. Or throw several Shurikens.
Not happening.
And in terms of survivability, they just follow you all the time. They will rush you all the time, so you can just walk away from them. Then they can follow you through the blender if they want. That's the build, you know what I mean? Very elusive, more like an elusive playstyle. Yeah, and against single target or bosses that don't melt in just one shift, are pretty much the same rotation. Don't panic. Just one deep, one synchronized strike, and then benefit from it with Shurikens and or blades. Other than that, do the boss mechanic. But yeah, the idea behind it is it's so bursty. This is almost a corruption 200. Just met the boss. Yeah, sustain is okay. You see boss down. I could just fully go through my rotation. There are several tools the rogue class has to its disposal which can help with mana, depending on your setup or your build. In my case, I make use of Sapping Strikes. So I showed you briefly the ring, which gives minus the throwing mana cost, so the Shuriken are for free. Therefore, this works, and it's really, really good. Obviously, with all those Shurikens, there is more. For example, in the Falconer skill tree here, if you happen to play a dodge build, you might invest, I think it takes 10 points. Yeah, 10 points, and then 14 points You unlock mana on dodge. That's pretty OP, I guess. Other than that, Bladedancer 3, if you happen to play a melee rogue, there's a passive called Spellbreaker, and it's a mana regen, and there's also Frailty in one. Because of those rings, I think it would be fine with only one. Yeah. But still no mana. Yeah, one ring is enough. One ring with minus throwing attack mana cost. And the Shurikens are at 0. And therefore can have the other mechanic going on within the passive skill tree from Sapping Strikes. How do you want to fill up your mana, right?
Not happening.
With the double mana attack from Shift plus Blades. Or by hitting a million targets with several Shurikens. Fill up the mana that way. That's pretty much it.
Happening.
And the walking away part. More elusive type of playstyle. This can help, but it's not bulletproof. It's more burst damage. Right now it's just more burst damage. Not so much for defense. Because of this one here. Edge of Obscurity. This effect is doubled, it's a damage buff, and the effect is doubled inside the area of smoke. In just regular endgame content or corrupted monoliths, just a little tip or a hint. Shift still procs an Umbra Blade. And the Shuriken is no mana cost. And yeah, don't necessarily always have to be a synchronized strike, then shift, or a synchronized strike and then Shuriken. That's like, of course, the most damage output scenario, but it's also where you get stuck with mana problem. I think the build has a little learning curve, nothing too crazy, but just have to get used to it, that there's mana management involved when playing a Bladedancer in general. I hope this video could solve some questions around mana sustain on the Bladedancer and on the Shuriken build in particular. Maybe you are considering to play some variation of the Bladedancer, where pretty much every other setup will make use of one or the other way shown in the video. To summarize it real quick, it's a combination of 2 skill tree nodes, 1 passive tree node, with mana regeneration on the gear, minus throwing cost and cooldown reduction for shift. We have an infinite mana loop going. Thanks for watching and have a nice day, guys.